Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Ann Atwell. We are the Queer God Squad. SunshineCathedral.org you can visit to learn more about us. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. Like and share this episode and watch us Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. or on demand. This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Canada acknowledges that the U.S. may not be safe for queer people. Canada has temporarily paused the deportation of a non-binary U.S. citizen, Angel Jenkel, citing risk to queer individuals in America. The decision made by a federal court judge highlighted that the initial immigration officer failed to consider the escalating dangers faced by LGBTQ2S plus people in the United States and relied on outdated information. Jenkel, who was overstayed a visitor's visa while caring for their fiancé, argued that returning to the United States would put them at risk due to recent legislative changes and societal shifts impacting trans and non-binary rights. The ruling acknowledges that the U.S., traditionally considered a safe country, may not be so for marginalized communities, setting a potential significant precedent for future asylum claims by LGBTQ2S plus Americans in Canada. The Queer God Squad blesses Canada for its humanitarian vision and sensitivity, even as we lament on how cruel the U.S. government has become in the age of MAGA. Wow. This is one of those reminders that the calls coming from within the house, and we all need to be afraid, be very afraid. But when our neighboring Canada, allies for all these years, are now saying, hey, wait a minute, this may not be so safe for folks to come here. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I think it's beginning to come out more and more that, America will be placed on the Human Rights Watch list as one of the up and coming most anti-everything towards a lot of human rights, specifically around LGBTQ and the queer community altogether. But the Canada took this step to protect. They stood up to the bully. They sent up to the MAGA people and said, no, you're not safe for us to send people to you. And I think we're going to be hearing more and more of that. And I think, sadly, once it's beginning to affect tourism, a lot of other things is going to impact the economy of the United States. Somebody may eventually wake up and say, well, this wasn't a good idea. And we need to make laws that changes to make sure that we are known for protecting our citizens. We want to protect our people and it's a safe place. But we got a long way to go because within 7 months, this platform has completely destroyed so much that made America safe, even though we had a lot of work to do still, but we had already accomplished so much. And now it's like we have a major setback. And so we have to regain, regroup, refocus, take back the ground that we've lost, and then gain some new ground as we move forward to really redo all this all together again. I mean, as I was reading one article today that said we are beginning to move to the process of having to reshape America, a new America, not based on anything that the current administration is doing, but as a result as to what they have done to make America better.
Yeah, make America great. How about we make America safe, acceptable? Just not evil and hateful. The U.S. is not really safe for queer people. In other news, August in Florida, it's very hot. I mean, it's so obvious, it's so painful, so hurtful that this is what we've become. And this is what I struggle with. You know what? We have a long U.S. history has been long sort of whitewashed. Like when we've always taught it from the side of the winners or whatever. And so I mean, from chattel slavery to the Trail of Tears, to Jim Crow, to Japanese Americans internment, to Chinese workers on the railroads, to child labor, to sodomy laws. We have a lot of that we've never really acted ashamed about. Like, that's the thing, is we just like, well, that's what we used to do, and now we're better or whatever. Meanwhile, during Jim Crow, we were erecting statues to Confederate people. This was insurrection from within our own country. Yeah. And the January 4th insurrectionists were pardoned. We have a lot to atone for, and we just don't seem to take that very seriously. So that's sad enough. But now, because we haven't dealt with that, we haven't atoned for that, we haven't healed from that, this country, a large segment of this country, rose up and put in office, put in power, someone who represents all the values and ideals and mischief of the KKK and the old Confederacy and the Jim Crow South. And that is now no longer an embarrassment, a part of our past. It is a threatening and frightening part of our present. And so that now that we have this administration that is performatively hateful, like they put it on display. They recently had a failure of a parade and a rainstorm to celebrate basically their hatefulness, that these people are coming for trans people. These people are coming for the LGBTQ+ community. These people have gutted the Voting Rights Act. These people have packed the Supreme Court with ideologues. These people have taken away a woman's right to choose, or taken away bodily autonomy. These people have destroyed any sense of protecting our environment, even though we depend on it, like our existence depends on it, but it may keep the 10 richest people from getting even richer, so screw the environment. That this is our reality is super, super scary. And what is comforting is that there are people like Canada, like the European Union, like Mexico, even Brazil. I mean, who knew that Brazil would ever be the hero, because they had their own sort of autocracy thing going on, that people are standing up and defying him and challenging him and showing concern for us. That's the comfort in this for me, is that if we won't notice the threat we're under, at least people beyond our borders do and are expressing some concern. But that we have become a country almost devoid of compassion and empathy, or even any concern for justice for all. It is heartbreaking and it's frightening, and it's always the most vulnerable who are at risk first. So that's, of course, that's going to be LGBTQ. And so I really appreciate our northern neighbors for acknowledging that and keeping at least one person safe from the mischief and evil that we have going on here.
Right. Bravo. Kudos to Canada for recognizing the issues that are being faced by queer folk here in the U.S. And like both of you had said, I suspect we are going to see a lot more countries that are going to step up and say, you know what can we do to help the folks in the U.S. that are being tormented and marginalized by their government? So thank you, Canada.
Thank you, Canada. And that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to like and share this episode on your social media. And I also welcome you to find Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders from around the world, activists and scholars. We've also added a weekly lectionary discussion that you can find on the website and on the socials.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.